Hey YouTube, you want to grow your business in this year of 2021? That's a difficult thing to do. It's been more difficult than anything I've ever known. But on this YouTube channel, we will try and find those routes to success, those green shoots of success. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you've got any ideas on how to grow your business, hit it in the comments below. But I want to take you in now into a little story of a niche business that we've discovered that's really working for us right now. And we're now going to one of my industrial estates. Let's go there now. So guys, just before we get there, I want to set the scene. I bought this industrial park for £1.4 million. And now I've got a rule of investment. When I buy something, I want to make sure I've got at least a 10% return per annum on what I pay for something. So if I buy something for £1 million, I want 100,000 of rent, or be able to get £100,000 of rent very quickly from when buying it. This site has got potential. I always want there to be another added bit of potential for me to increase the revenue. So I've got 110,000 of rent roll on it so far, and I'm trying to increase it to the 140,000 with it putting as little money in as possible. Now I've got permission to build 22 units on there, which will give me a rent roll of 350 grand when I've done that, but I need to put another £1 million into doing that. I ain't doing that right now because of coronavirus, so I'll just put that on ice. But I thought, how can I make a bit more money? So I thought about yards. I knew there was a shortage of yards in Essex and I've got the land. So I went on Google Images and I just typed in yard for rent, and this yard came up, a little yard with a porch cabin. I stole that image from Google and then I put it on Facebook saying I've got a yard for rent, just to see if there was a market for it before I went and spent any more money. I've done this as research, and this is a really good smart thing entrepreneurs should be doing when starting a new business. Act as if you've got the business, and see if people are prepared to give you money for what you want to do. So I've done this in all my businesses. When I started Teddy Tastic, I make teddy bears, little picture of a teddy bear that we make there, chance just so people understand. I told people I had the teddy bears and that I was prepared to sell them to see if I could get orders before I placed the big order with China, because it was going to cost me £500,000. So I got the orders before I placed my order. And what I'm doing here by testing on Facebook, this is the little image that I put here on Facebook, that I had this for rent. I literally got 10 messages a day. I still get 10 messages a day for people begging to rent my yard from me. I went and invested in it, and I'm going to show you exactly what I built and what it means in pound, shilling and pence right now. Right gang, I want to give you some context. I own this park here. I've got units all over the show, and over here is where I'm going to build those 22 units that I spoke about earlier on. But this little bad boy over here was just some ground that I had, and I put this fence up. It's cost me about £2,000 in capex, and this scaffolding man is renting this off of me for £650 a month. And I've got another company that wants to have a yard over here. That's £850 a month, and I've got to tidy this all up. Bear in mind, we've only owned this for about 4 months now, so we've managed to get the rent. What's that? Another 20,000. So we're now at another £10,000, and I've met my goal of a 10% return on rent roll for the price that you buy a property for. And we've done this all in house with our own maintenance team. Probably had another £1,000 for labour, so £3,000 cost me over there. I do own the land, but I'm getting what's that? Come on, 650 times 12 chunks. I have to get my computer out here. It's £7,800. So 3,000 in, 7,800 in forever, and I know that I'll rent that all the time. But now I know it works. So over here behind this toilet block, I'm building another one of those, and I'm going to put a container on there, and I'm going to get £850 per month for that. So that's £10,200 a year. Look at that, I know off the top of my head. And containers, this is another little niche thing. I've got the finance to buy 10 of those. That's 40 grand. I could put them over here, and then I could, so what's that, 10 of those, say 40 grand all in, but then I would only get £1,000 per month for all of them. So 40 grand, 12 grand back. Still not, but that's a really good return on investment. But I much prefer this, but it's a bit more land. 3,000 in to get £10,000 back. That's a real good return on investment. And I'm also thinking about this, car parking spaces. One of the little ideas that I've got, if you've got car parking spaces, which we've got a lot of here, you can rent them out per month and people pay to store cars if you've got a confined area. All of this to me is just such better business than residential property. The downside of it though, and I do own quite a bit of residential property that we rent out, it's harder to finance, it's harder to get over the line, there's less of them. But when there's less of something, it's always more desirable. And this stuff, just will rent out and rent out and rent out forever and ever and ever. No one's going to take it away, like the last video I did where our site was taken away because we was a leaseholder. There we go. Let's get back to the studio. Well, that's a little good news story. Hope you enjoyed that. But now let's talk about the bad news story. I read in the Telegraph on my app today on the phone that the government are saying that hospitality and leisure and pubs and restaurants won't open until May. I mean, can you get that through your head? That whole industry just being paralysed. They're saying shops are not going to open till April. How are we going to survive through this? You know, I'm looking for these little niches like the story I've just told you there, but that's not going to cover the 500,000 payroll that we have some months. I'm thankful we've got our day nurseries. We're doubling down on the day nurseries. I've shown you a story of how our first site was closed and Legal and General took the site off of us, but how we pivoted into a new model and a new bigger day nursery. You can watch that by clicking here, that whole story. I think that'd be really interesting for you. I'm doubling down on my content of my online university for entrepreneurs, the Entrepreneurs University, making more content. I'm doubling down into this new social media thing called Clubhouse, and I'm getting followers from there. I'm trying to do all that little bits of stuff, but it ain't going to pay the bills, the amount of bills that I have. Rishi, 3rd of March, all business owners will be watching this budget like they've never watched a budget before. Please give us this extension of the 5% VAT for another year for hospitality and leisure. Please extend the business rates relief for another year. I have to level up with you here, guys. Every day I'm dealing with stuff that I just don't want to do. You know, I'm dealing with like being very careful with our cash flow, not overpaying our bills down like we usually would, trying to create payment plans with people to protect our cash flow, because it scares me when the government say May. That's like another, that means, you know, when we sort of lock down in December, January, February, March, April, May, that's like 6 months of trade gone again. I make this video and I'm saying this stuff and I feel like I'm lying to you. Like, is this really happening? The government have also cancelled. They've told people not to go on summer holidays. Don't book summer holidays. There's some good news there. If we can trade, then more people will be staying in the UK. That will benefit our business. The frustrating thing is, for me, is I know when the government say go, that there is going to be a boom, that things are going to go really well. It's just getting to that point, and I don't know when that point's going to be. So what do you think is going to happen to the UK economy? Are you worried about the UK economy? Are you worried about your business? Are you having any signs of success? Hit them in the comments below. I'd really love to know. And I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Don't forget, check that video out that I told you about, the story of our day nursery closing and reopening. You can watch that video by clicking here. Subscribe to the channel by clicking here. I'll see you in the next video.